And as a result, her already strained relationship with her husband Percy was in irrevocable decline. Before long, though, Edith was to be reacquainted with an old friend, someone who would completely change her life forever, someone with whom she would begin a passionate love affair. The secret correspondence between the two showed the intensity of their attraction, but that attraction would have disastrous consequences, and Edith's vivid imagination in her writings would come back to haunt her.
Help!
Edith Thompson was a successful career woman at the beginning of the Roaring '20s. Her life might have seemed idyllic from the outside, but she was stuck in an unhappy marriage with her husband Percy. They were growing ever further apart. At the end of a working week in late May 1920, Edith visited her father and mother in Manor Park, just as she did every other Friday evening. This time, however, when she knocked on the door, an unexpected but familiar lodger was there to greet her.
Hello, Edith.
Freddie. How you've grown.
Can I take it back?
Oh.
Edith had known Freddie Bywaters much of his life. He was the mischievous school friend of her younger brothers. And in May 1920, now nearly 18, he was lodging temporarily with Edith's parents, and he was no longer a little boy.
By this time, he was a merchant sailor, and his ship would dock at East India Docks. And so Freddie went round to her parents to say, could I lodge in your place? And every Friday, Edith would go and have supper with them, and so she met him. And I think there was, from all accounts, an immediate attraction.
The attraction seems to have been there right from the beginning. She was clearly dissatisfied with her husband, who by this time, sort of the end of the working day, was retreating from the bedroom with a bottle of whiskey. So Edith inevitably started sort of looking for consolation. And there he was, this young lad, 18 years old, and he offered her the consolation that she wanted.
The handsome Freddie was very different to her husband. The hypochondriac Percy had avoided service in the First World War with a minor, perhaps manufactured medical complaint. He certainly boasted of his cowardly actions afterwards. By contrast, Freddie ran away from home when he was only 15 to join the merchant navy and sail the world, where he suffered the very real threat of German U-boats. He saw exotic, far-flung lands that Edith could only dream about or read about in her books. He was physically fit. He loved football and boxing. The attraction was electric, instantaneous. It jolted Edith from her routine life and consumed her utterly. For months afterwards, they secretly exchanged flirtatious messages. It was thrillingly erotic, but for now, harmless. In the summer of 1921, Edith and Percy went on holiday to the Isle of Wight. Edith's sister Avis and Freddie joined them.
At the time, there was hope from her parents that Freddie was interested in Avis, and Avis was certainly interested in Freddie. And I think no one realized that there was this attraction going on between Edith and Freddie, but nothing had happened as such. But on the Isle of Wight, they managed to get time together, and they had their first kiss, and they declared love for each other. So that was really the start of what became an incredibly passionate affair.
On their return, Edith encouraged Percy to take in Freddie as a lodger. He agreed.
Taking lodgers was quite a common practice. It made sense for Frederick to move into the house, so it wouldn't have been uncommon for him to take accommodation as part of his wages.
Percy initially really got on with Freddie and had no inkling there was something between his wife. So Freddie stayed there for about 3 months. Then things got difficult.
Percy was becoming suspicious, though. In the enclosed, stuffy interiors of the house, tempers broiled.
It's getting cold.
She'll be here.
It's nearly past. You said 4.
We'll just wait a little while longer. Can you do that?
I don't mind. Fine. We'll all have cold tea then.
Percy,
No. Mustn't bother little Avis.
leave her out of it.
Always bowing and scraping to your family.
She's my sister.
Yes, and I'm your husband. And this is my house.
Your house! But who paid for it? Some man you are.
Hey! Do not speak to me like that.
Lay off her!
You keep out of it.
Are you all right?
I said, keep out of it.
You ever touch her like that again, you'll have me to deal with.
I want you out of my house.
In the weeks after Freddie's departure from the house, he and Edith continued their affair, but this time outside the home. Percy suspected, but could prove nothing. And then, on the 9th of September, 1921, Freddie went back to sea. Edith's only lifeline to him was the letters she wrote.
Frederick went to sea, so he'd be away for 6-week intervals. And Edith would write these letters almost on a daily basis. There would be points when she'd say, "Do you remember that first kiss on the bus at Shanklin?" And so all her letters survived, and it kind of chronicled the affair.
Edith was the most extraordinary letter writer, nearly 70, which were found in a box. She wrote mainly, actually, sort of literary criticism of the books that they both read. She would do this incredibly sophisticated analysis of the characters in this book, but she weighs up the morality of these people.
She was a prodigious writer with a vivid imagination. She confided everything to him, from critiques of the latest books she was reading to timings of her period, from erotic fantasies to her daily routine. Elsewhere, she wrote ridiculous fantasies about murdering her husband by sticking shards of glass in his porridge.
She was sending cuttings about murders that were being committed using different sort of poisons, and all of this would seem to be egging him on to commit murder.
Freddie was completely aware this was a fantasy. She wrote this because letter writing, as she put it, was her way of talking to him. If it looked as if she was actually trying hard to get rid of the husband, he would be very pleased with this. It was clearly a level of fantasy. Of course, this was wonderful ammunition for the prosecution.